and welcome to Theodore Parker Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Jennifer, and I go by she, her, and I've been married to my wife, Jennifer, for 24 years, and we've been coming to this church since 2009. As we enter into worship, we bring with us all the sorrows and joys of our week, and we know that here we are held in loving community. Here we are reminded that we are part of something larger than ourselves. Here we seek to counter oppression, to work for healing and justice in a bruised and broken world. Here we invite all of you to bring your perspectives, your beliefs and your doubts, and all that is unique and wondrous about you to our service. In the spirit of love, all are welcome here. For those joining us in person today, there's a few things you may need to know. You can use the QR code, which is in the pews, to pull up the order of service, or there are orders of services in large print copies at the front and the back table. Our service is being recorded today and will be available on YouTube later. If you would like to have a joy or concern shared with the congregation today, our meditation and prayer piece, we invite you to fill out the prayer card anytime before meditation, the meditation hymn on the table to your right. And you may also light a candle at any time, a silent candle, without submitting a care or concern if you wish. People of all ages are welcome to move about in the sanctuary as they need, or to make themselves comfortable in the cozy corner, which there's still a few empty seats there, even if it's pretty crowded right now. So children's programming for elementary school age kids is happening today, and that will happen after the benediction for the kids. We also have child care available for those under the age of 4, located in the parish hall. Now, if you're new to TPC or you're visiting today, we'd love you to stay in touch. So you're warmly invited to fill out a connection card, which you find in your pew, or in the Zoom chat if you are joining us via Zoom. We'd like to take a moment to greet each other. We are capable of that this morning, right? I invite us to give the folks on Zoom a big wave. So if you're joining us online, please post a hello in the chat. If you are physically in the sanctuary, I invite you to greet one another and to look towards the back camera and wave to our Zoom friends. Okay, and then to greet one another.
Since you printed it, I added this introduction that who the musician is.
Okay.
Do you want to
Do you want to read it?
or do you want it to?
I could. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. Are you going to ring a bell like Catherine back? So what's up with this song? Okay, so we just went right into the bell because... Okay. I invite us to be seated as Yukiko shares our prelude, a sonata number 1 by Lou Harrison. And this morning we'll hear music of Lou Silver Harrison. He was an American composer, a music critic, and a music theorist, a painter, a creator of unique musical instruments, and his 6 piano sonatas, of them 3 of which are played for today's service, are heavily influenced by Gamerian music.
Good morning. My name is Rose. I serve as this congregation's religious educator. So good to be with you all this morning. Our opening words come from Margaret A. Keep. As surely as we belong to the universe, we belong together. We join here to transcend the isolated self, to reconnect, to know ourselves, to be at home, here on earth, under the stars, linked with each other. Come, let us worship together. Please join us now in singing our opening hymn, number 21, For the Beauty of the Earth. Please rise and embody your spirit. We'll be singing verses 1, 3, and 4. Words will also be up on the screen.
Source of all, to thee we raise
Good morning. I'm Reverend Heather Concannon. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the minister of this congregation. And I am going to invite us to light our chalice together. Louisa will be leading us in lighting our chalice, our symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. As Louisa comes up, please join me in saying our shared covenant, once in English and once in Spanish, in honor of our sibling community in Plazuelas, El Salvador. The words will perhaps be on our screen. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. El amor es el espíritu de esta iglesia, y el servicio es nuestra oración. Esta es nuestra gran promesa, vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad con amor y ayudarnos los unos a los otros. I might have mentioned before that you can also pull up our order of service, which has a lot of this information about hymn numbers, and also would have been helpful if I had told you that it has our covenant written down, but it's on the QR code on the back of your pews. So if our screens are not working, you can use that as another tool to help follow along with the service.
Good morning again. So as I said, my name is Rose. I serve as this congregation's religious educator. I'm so happy to be with you all. This morning we will be having actually the first day of the new church year where we have 2 RE classes for different age groups. I'm very excited. That's going to happen right after a story that I have to share with you all. I'm wondering if the slides are working back there, because the story is a slide-based story. It is just such a tricky thing. We have a very advanced tech setup that goes wrong in a slightly different way every week. It's really, this is not any fault of volunteers or staff, just somehow a new tech issue every week. Yeah, I can try to. I have it on my small screen right here, so I can read it to you all. There were just some really great illustrations, so I just wanted to wanted to see if there is any possibility of getting those up. It's something. It's just such a visual story. It's really a little tricky to go ahead with it. This story is called The Everything Seed, a story of beginnings. Almost. Don't. So sorry. Well, just bear with us for a moment so we can see if we can make this work. A little meditation time. Yes, thank you, Eric. Maybe I'll get started and see if it comes up as I begin. So again, this is called The Everything Seed, a story of beginnings by Carol Martinego. Have you ever watched a seed grow? Have you ever noticed how it begins so small, so still, so quiet, like a gift wanting to be opened, and how slowly it wakes up, begins to unfold, growing into something larger, and larger, and larger? Then you know that whatever comes from the seed usually ends up, oh my goodness, wonderful. Almost there. Whatever comes from, oh, beautiful. this. I think we're just on the third slide of this book. You can click ahead. Great. There we go. Then you know that whatever comes from a seed usually ends up looking very little like the seed it came from, which is also true of the very first seed. Once, long, long ago, way back before the beginning, so long ago, there was no such thing as time. Because there was no one there to count it, everywhere was a huge, deep, mysterious place, like something waiting to happen. There were no stars, no sun or moon. There was no place like Earth, not a single drop of water or a single tree or rock or flower, no living beings anywhere. But in that deep waiting space was hidden the tiniest point of something no bigger than a seed. It was not a flower seed. It was not an elm tree seed. It was not a seed of corn, although all those things were included in the seed. You might call it an everything seed, because that is what it became. No one knows where that first seed came from, or how it was planted, or how it knew, in the way that only seeds seem to know, how long to wait for just the right moment to sprout and grow. But all at once, this tiny seed, cradled and nourished in the rich soil of space, woke up, broke open, and began to unfold, unfolding, and blossoming forth into an enormous blazing ball of bright light. Like a great grandmother's son. And the universe was born. Out fluttered the galaxies like a storm of snowflakes swirling and gathering into the brightest, most blindingly beautiful stars, beautiful cloud of stars. And out of those star clouds whirled our very own star, the one that we call the sun, and our Earth, and the moon, and all the round spinning planets we have learned how to name. Interesting. That's not the next slide. Let's stay on here, but the image on the slide I'm going to read is one of a tiny little human, like a baby in the womb. Not quite that, but more similar to that. This image behind there, for some reason. This is the secret, truly very secret, of that tiny seed. You and I were there in the very beginning. There it is. You and I were there in the very beginning. Just as the idea for each leaf on a big oak tree lies hidden inside an acorn. We were all there with all the stars and planets, all the rocks and oceans, plants and animals and people, everything that is now, ever was, or ever will be, was inside that first tiny seed. So whenever you hold a seed in your hand and wonder what it could become, imagine how you and all that is here once came from the tiniest speck of an everything seed, before it sprouted and grew, and long, long ago in the way back beginning of time. Now, if this were an ordinary story, it would end right there. But this story of the universe keeps unfolding. What once began in a blazing blossom of light continues every day. New stars sprout open in the deep soil of space. Seeds of many kinds, new plants and animals appear on earth. Seeds of many kinds are scattered everywhere. To help us remember, and new people are born every day with the spark of that first light still alive and burning deep inside, waiting, like the everything seed, to shine in ways that are yet to be known. The end. Thank you all so much for listening to our story and for bearing with our tech issues. I'm now going to invite any kids who want to join our religious education classes, Chalice Circle and Justice Seekers. Those are the two classes. Please gather by that door. I'll go with you along with our volunteers, and all of you, please join me in singing them out with our children's benediction.
I can go up there. It's either way. I can do this from wherever. So friends, we are at the near beginning of our new church year, and I wanted to take a moment to recognize our leaders among us, because the work of leading a community does not fall to just one person. Each of us brings many gifts, and we come into community to share those gifts and our service to the larger whole. And this morning I wanted to recognize and introduce you to this year's elected leaders of our congregation on our board. So I'd like to call the board members up to the front. This year we have Meredith St. John as our president, Stency Royden as our vice president, Mark Ferenz, our treasurer, Katie Ford, our clerk, and our at-large members, Diane Issa, Kathy Ware, Gwyn Arnie Sutherland, Dennis Gagan, and Jake Bittner. Would you all come join me up here at the front? So we are going to commission them for this year's service together. So board members, first I have some questions for you. Board members, this congregation has elected you to serve in leadership. In this act, they have placed a sacred trust in you that you will faithfully carry out your duties on the board. So board members, will you strive to embody the mission and values of this congregation? Will you seek to act in ways that are worthy of the trust that has bestowed in you in this role? If so, please say, "We will." And board members, this congregation has entrusted you to act on what is best for the whole congregation, on behalf of what is best. Will you put the good of the whole before your own personal preferences? Will you hold this congregation and its people in compassion and loving care? And will you listen to perspectives you may disagree with? If so, please say, "We will." We will. And congregation, Will you do your best to support our elected leaders? Will you empower them to make important and sometimes difficult decisions? Will you give them your trust, gratitude, and honesty? And will you share your feedback and your needs with them with compassion and kindness? Please say, we will. So I invite everyone to raise hands in blessing and send some good energy to our leaders up here at the front, whether you're in person or online. Spirit of love and service. I love the good energy I can see literally coming out. Spirit of love and service, we lift up our gratitude for these leaders who give of their time, their wisdom, and their energy in service of this beloved congregation. May their leadership and their ministry to this church this year be a blessing to us all. May it be so, and amen. Thank you, board. Thank you for your service, and thank you for joining us today. And friends, let us transition into a space of meditation and prayer. Each week we share an opportunity to share what joys or concerns are on our hearts. And if you're here in the sanctuary this morning and you would like to fill out a prayer card to have us read during the prayer time, you can do so during our centering hymn. And if you're joining us on Zoom, I invite you to type into the chat if you'd like to share a joy or a sorrow. And as we deepen into this space of meditation and prayer, I invite you to take a few nurturing breaths. Find a space of stillness. And I invite you to remain seated and join in singing our centering hymn. Our centering hymn is Where Do We Come From? And it's number 1003. It's in the teal hymnal. And Laura and Brian and I will lead. We'll teach it. We'll sing a line, and then you can sing it back to us. We'll sing each line twice through. We'll sing parts 1, 2, and 3. And then we'll split off, and you can follow any one of the three of us as we make it into a round. So it goes like this. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where do we come from? Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. All right, break off if you'd like. We go from, what are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where do we come from? Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where do we come from? Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery.
Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, 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 life is a riddle and a mystery. Friends, this morning we have a joy from Jay and Amanda. Thank you to everyone who brought us meals in our meal train. At just 3 months, Isabel is trying to walk from the strength of the good food. And to Sorrow, which I'm not sure, maybe is a announcement or an apology. Sorry for not returning Tupperware. Find us at coffee hour. I'm sure it's fine. Congratulations, and so good to have you all here. We have a sorrow, an anonymous sorrow, for the threats to free speech in our country. For all of these joys and all of these concerns and those that remain unspoken in the sanctuaries of our hearts, we light a candle. And I invite us to join together in a body blessing and meditation written by Noel Lemon, based on the elements of earth, fire, water, spirit, and air. So I invite you to settle comfortably into your body, whatever the way that feels for you. For the element of earth, I ask you to consider your bones. Protein, collagen, and minerals make them up, mostly the mineral calcium. Calcium formed in supernovas racing across the universe billions of years ago, making up leaves, shells, and the limestone and gypsum of the Painted Desert, the White Cliffs of Dover. Your bones are kin to the crust of the earth and every seashell in the ocean. May your bones remind you of your strength. For the element of air, I invite you to take a deep breath. Hold it a moment and feel the pressure of air in your lungs. Every red blood cell in your body carries oxygen. Breathe comfortably. Oxygen, the basis of all energy transfer reactions on Earth. You are holding in your lungs a piece of the Earth's atmosphere. Nitrogen and oxygen and others, nitrogen from the outer reaches of our solar system, formed as the Earth herself grew from nothingness. Breathe, and may that breath remind you of your own adaptability and movement. And your body is powered by fire. Listen for a moment for your own heartbeat. Lay your fingers on your wrist and feel it. Each beat creates electrical impulses which power your heart, enough to each day to drive an electric truck 20 miles. Your brain, which controlled that touch and that awareness, fires electrical impulses at a rate of 500 signals per second per nerve cell, powered by fire. Your mind is made of lightning, your heart a wildfire. May that fire rekindle joy and passion in every place where flames have been guttering. And continue to feel your pulse, that liquid life under your skin. We are born of water, cradled in amniotic fluid, the same salinity as the ocean. We remain more than half water and our blood moves in tides like the ocean herself, carrying nutrients and waste across each of our internal shores. Our plasma has the same salt and ions as the sea. May the tides of your blood, your own blood, wash away that which is unneeded and return to you all that you require. The elements of our bodies lay inextricably intertwined with our spirit. We are living temples, the stardust embodiment of the joy of the universe itself. We carry in ourselves oceans, mountains, lightning, sky. Every photon of light which has ever touched our faces will exist in 100,000 sunrises forever. Every BTU of heat radiating from our bodies right now has been around since the creation of the universe itself. We are the manifestation of the cosmos. May we hold that knowledge close as we rest together into several moments of shared silence. Amen.
Each week, we take an offering to sustain the many ministries of this congregation. We give because we believe that we are part of something larger than ourselves. We give because we believe in music and sacred space, in transformation and in hope, and in community and in love. We give because we know that it takes us sharing our many gifts to make this space possible, with the faith that together we have more than enough. Links to donate will be in the chat and on the screen, and ushers will be coming around if you wish to give via cash or check. As Yukiko plays another sonata by Lou Harrison, an offering to sustain this congregation will be gratefully received.
This summer, I spent a week on Star Island, a Unitarian Universalist conference center on a small island off of the coast of New Hampshire. And each night we ended the day with a short worship service in their stone chapel, lit only by candle lamps. Though below me I feel no motion. It was the second time that evening that I had sung the hymn Blue Boat Home, having sung it to my toddler mere minutes earlier as I put her to bed. And somehow in that beautiful spot in the middle of the ocean, after a long day in the sun, in a small room lit only by candlelight, a clear dark sky above us, so dark you could see the Milky Way, I heard the words that I've sung 1,000 times on Sunday mornings and at bedtimes, at memorial services, and humming to myself as though I was hearing them for the first time. Will you join me? It's number 1064. Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor nor port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Friends, I forget in my day-to-day life, juggling schedules, making meal after meal, doing the laundry and the dishes, answering emails and worrying about the news. Worrying about the news. This has been so present for me this week. Has that been true for you? In the midst of life, I nearly always forget that we are on this pale blue dot, as Carl Sagan said, that we are sailing through a wide universe that is vast and unknowable. Do you forget this too? I remember watching Neil deGrasse Tyson's documentary Cosmos, the updated 2014 version, about a decade ago now, and having such an experience of awe. How vast the universe is, how unknowable, how infinitesimally small we are, how enormous we are compared to the microbes around us, how vast and unknowable the earth, our home, is, how tiny the earth is compared to the cosmos, how something exploded from nothing, how every molecule in our bodies came from a star, how any of this exists at all. How if you took the 13.87 billion year history of the universe and you scaled it onto a single calendar year, our solar system and our Earth don't show up until September. The first humans don't show up until the last day. The first humans show up December 31st at 11:52 p.m. How all of human history, compared to the scale of the universe, condenses down to 8 minutes in the year-long cosmic calendar. When I remember this, I can't help but feel awe and wonder, humility and reverence. Let's sing verse 2. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home.
There's a Jewish teaching that tells of a rabbi who kept a slip of paper in each pocket. In one pocket, the paper read, "For me, the world was created." And in the other pocket, the slip of paper read, "I am but dust and ashes." And this is a powerful reminder that even in this vast universe, our lives hold so much significance. The very fact of your existence, yours and yours and yours and yours. Each of us a miracle. The fact that we are here on this big boat together, which is also such a small boat compared to the vast universe, drifting out in the middle of space, anchored by the sun and the moon pulling at the seas, creating the tides that give way to life, drifting here with our ships over 8 billion other companions on this earth, our home. And friends, sometimes I have to admit these days, I don't always feel kindred with the other companions I found myself here on earth with. Pilgrims making our way on a sacred journey through this universe, and I don't always feel like my fellow pilgrims on this boat hold our shared journey with the reverence I believe it demands. But my Unitarian Universalist faith reminds me, as does this song, that these are our ship's companions for better or for worse. And this home is all we have. This life is all we know for sure. And so what, my faith asks, what are we going to do about it? How are we going to struggle and tend and love and create and keep making this blue boat home beautiful? That night when I heard those words again, in that beautiful place, they went straight here. We are all we have. This is it. This beautiful planet in this vast universe and each other. Let's sing the last verse together. Give thanks to the waves upholding me. Hail the great winds urging me on. Breathe the infinite sea before me. Sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms. Never harbor nor port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue road home. Friends, how often do we open our hearts in gratitude for the gift that is life? How often do we let our breath catch at the awe and wonder and mystery and miracle that is our existence? I do it less often than is good for me, if I'm being honest, but lately when I've sung these words again at bedtime, I try to linger on them just a little bit. I try to let them sink in and remind myself of the mystery that surrounds us, of the reality that at the equator, we are spinning on the Earth's axis at about 1,000 miles per hour. That our Earth spins around our sun at about 67,000 miles per hour. And our whole solar system dances through the Milky Way at about 500,000 miles per hour. Can you feel it? This is happening all at once, and yet we feel no motion. And I'm trying more and more often to lean into awe and reverence and to recognize that the history of the universe is long and we are so small, but our smallness does not mean that we are insignificant. Quite the opposite. We are quite literally made of stardust. We are part of a grand story that we cannot conceive the scale of. Across time and space, we are inextricably woven into the fabric of the universe. The author of our book this morning, The Everything Seed, Carol Martinacco, describes her story by saying, "Beyond the renewed wonder and awe at the unfathomable inventions of nature, such as seeds, the central truth of this story is this: everything is radically related. We are all caught up in this exquisite dynamic of interdependence. To know this at heart level, to live into it with deep reverence, is my hope for all. Friends, I was on Star Island this summer because I was part of leading a week-long workshop on the creation of rituals. And in our workshop, we asked the small groups to craft a ritual that speaks to a longing that they have. And one of the groups crafted a ritual using sand to honor and symbolize our place among the universe. And I'd like to share it together this morning. So I invite us to begin by taking 3 mindful breaths. And as you inhale, honor your connection to the earth and the universe. And as you exhale, honor your connection to each other. Today we engage in a ritual of remembrance, not only of our human connections, but of the slow and powerful processes that shape this blue boat home, our earth, and the wide universe through which we journey. Rachel Carson, scientist, writer, and environmentalist, once wrote, "In every curving beach, in every grain of sand, there is the story of the earth. It is the story of wind and water, of patience and transformation, of billions of years and the powerful forces of time and pressure. Sand comes from mountains and stone. It travels rivers, tumbles through time, and meets the sea. Made up of the very molecules that were present at the birth of the universe. And each of us, like each grain, has been shaped by forces larger than ourselves. As we pour our sand today, we honor that truth, that we are not separate, but part of a vast story, a larger story, and a vast and sacred web. Before sand ever meets the beach, it begins in stone. High in the mountains, rocks fracture from the cold, crumble in the wind, and loosen in rain. It is carried by rivers and grinds against each other slowly and endlessly. What remains after tumbling downstream for hundreds, thousands of miles until it reaches the ocean and is rolled by waves, what remains are grains, small and diverse and ancient, each one bearing the memory of its origin and the touch of every force that shaped it. And so too are we shaped by time and encounter and journey. And like sand, we are not only our origins, but the stories that we share in this moment. And so to embody and honor the spirit of our individual, unique, and sacred journeys through the universe, as well as the sacred web that connects us, I invite you in a moment, if you are so moved, to come forward for a symbolic movement of sand. I invite you to take a small scoop of sand from one of the bowls on the altar and pour it into the center vase. Another step in the sand's journey and ours as we join in community today. With each other and the wind and the waves and the stone and the stars, to affirm your unique and important place in the universe. And as you come forward, I invite you to share a word or a phrase or meditated on it in your heart, affirming your contribution to the web of being. So I'd like to invite you to come down the center aisle and then back down the side aisles as you feel moved. Friends, I invite us to place a hand on our hearts. Once separate, now joined, each grain distinct, yet part of a larger whole, just as we are. Let us now feel the living web we form in this place, a web woven by breath and body and presence. Like sand, it is ancient and resilient. We are stardust. We are light. We are a part of the universe. May we remember this. May it be so, and amen. Friends, I invite us to rise in body or spirit and sing in full our closing hymn, Blue Boat Home. Let's sing out.
Oh, below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean. Still my open heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now. Never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, awake intrepid clear it tolls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hear the great wind surging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
Friends, we are shaped as sand is shaped. We are joined as rivers meet the sea. The sand we poured today is now inseparable, like us, part of something larger. As we leave this space, may we remember we carry the universe's story within us, and we are each a part of it and each other's. May it be so, and amen. I have several announcements this morning. First, I want to lift up with gratitude our tech folks. Deanna and Tom, and I know a million people were back there helping out with whatever was happening with the projector. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I know it is not easy when it doesn't, and thank you everyone for bearing with it. I know it's not easy when the tech doesn't work as expected. Secondly, this morning we have many things going on after worship. We have coffee hour in our parish hall, which is through this door. If you're joining us on Zoom, please stick around for breakout rooms to say hello. During coffee hour, there will be Sundays in honor of Sunday, which is
today in honor of the fall equinox. Yes, today is Sunday in the days of the week. It's also sun, S-U-N, for the fall equinox. So we've got a couple of things happening. So climate activists and advocates organized by Mothers Out Front will be joining us for part of a national celebration to celebrate clean energy. And they will have a tent in our front yard from 12 to 1 to share with the community about the many benefits of going solar. You can also get a tour of our solar array. It says here on the parish hall roof, but I'm not guessing we're going on the roof, is that right? But Joel will be giving a tour of the solar array from the ground. Yeah? Okay. But if you want to see our solar array, where will you be meeting, Joel? You'll be at the tent out front, and then we'll go back. Okay. So you can go out front to get a tour of the solar array, talk to the folks from Mothers Out Front. They are also offering sun prints for kids if you want to make a sun print. I've done them. They're very fun. In honor of Sunday, the equinox, we will also be having ice cream sundaes and coffee hour. So make your own ice cream sundae. Couple more things coming up. October 4th, we have our next Music on Center concert. The flyers are ready to be distributed. If you can bring them to West Roxbury, Dedham, JP, anywhere you think might be beyond our reach currently. It's 2 weeks away. Please take some flyers in the hallway right over here. In the hallway right over here, we also have free COVID tests. If you'd like to take a few home, please go ahead and take some. Lastly, we have our Faith Formation Through Fiction book group this Tuesday from 7 to 9 in the parish hall. You are warmly welcome to come if you've read the books or if you've read most of the books. If you RSVP'd or you didn't RSVP, you're very welcome, so please join us this Tuesday. The books are Monk and Robot by Becky Chambers. The information is in the weekly email, and you can also email me if you really, really want to do a quick read between now and Tuesday. And lastly, we have our last Sonata No. 2 by Lou Harrison from Yukiko.